Don't worry about Jade Raymond, she's already kicking butt. Xbox Game Pass just keeps getting stronger. And Nintendo is getting primed for a record year. All that and the latest in everything cool today in the Rundown. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the show. Hope you came here for some great news, because that's all I got. My name is Victor Lucas, and today's episode is dedicated to David Majors, who wrote this on yesterday's Rundown. Given what we now know about Joss Whedon and WB, the fact that the Snyder Cut has given Ray Fisher's Cyborg such a spotlight is very telling on all sides. Excited to see your review, Batwing, with a big happy face. I am excited to review this movie as well. My request is in, so I will be reporting back very soon. I can't wait to see this one, but you know what? We have some awesome news to get to. Jade Raymond, most recently the head of the Games and Entertainment Division at Google Stadia, announced today that she has launched a new independent game developer called Haven Studios and has partnered with PlayStation on a brand new IP. Now, Jade's got an awesome history in video games. She's been working in this business for over 25 years, and she headed up Assassin's Creed at Ubisoft. She founded Ubisoft Toronto. She was heading up Star Wars IP over at Electronic Arts. Of course, she hung out with a lot of stormtroopers on Electric Playground. But one of the things that was very clear to me today as I read through her comments and the statements and the press release about Haven Studios coming together is that she's very in tune with the fact that PlayStation gets games. Jade said on a PlayStation blog that she wrote today, "As of today, I'm announcing Haven, an independent studio where many of the talented game developers I have worked with for years and love dearly are coming together to do what we are most passionate about. It's time for us to refocus on games, in all caps, in a place where we can practice our crafts without any barriers or impediments." Now, Herman Holtz, who used to run Guerrilla Games and is now the head of PlayStation Studios, said Sony Interactive Entertainment is proud to support and invest in Haven and its future. "We understand the challenges and rewards of building creative teams from the ground up, as does Jade with her wealth of experience helming many of gaming's biggest franchises. We're confident in and excited for the bright future of Haven Studios and its first project currently in development." And Jade also said, "I could not be more excited about this opportunity to return to my roots and work with this talented team to create a new IP together. Launching an independent studio with the backing of Sony Interactive Entertainment gives us full freedom to push boundaries with the support of a publisher that deeply understands the creative process of making games and is known for exceptional quality and a player-first approach." I'm just really excited for her, and I'm really excited to see where this is going to go and what kinds of games Haven is going to be building for us. And what was also very clear in the stuff that I read today is that Jade made a concerted effort to go back to games because she loves this business, even though a lot of the stuff that she's probably gone through this last couple of years has been incredibly stressful, and she could have chosen to say, "Nope, I'm done, that's enough." But I am super glad and I'm super happy for my friend, and I can't wait to see the games that Haven is going to make for us. So that's some pretty phenomenal news for PlayStation, but Xbox has got some great news today as well. As if the recent Bethesda barrage wasn't enough, two big, highly anticipated titles are hitting Xbox Game Pass soon. The sublime Octopath Traveler, which I just revisited on my Switch, and it is just pure magic. And the brand new action RPG that's coming up from People Can Fly called Outriders, which looks like really crazy fun. I can't wait to play that one. I know there's a demo out there. I haven't tried that one yet. Now, Xbox tweeted this morning about the announcement for those two titles, but also dropped that Star Wars Squadrons is part of Game Pass through EA Play, and games like Yakuza 6, Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire, and Empire of Sin are all being added soon. Now, that is a beautiful harvest of games, especially coming up so soon after all of those Bethesda titles have dropped on Game Pass. As I often say, Game Pass is becoming more and more irrefutable. But let's stick with good news from each of the big three and examine why Nintendo may be about to break records. The Nintendo Switch may be in the middle of its life cycle, as Nintendo President Shintaro Furukawa famously said in February, but reports from Bloomberg, based on data and info collected from Nintendo partners across the tech and software industries, suggests that this next year is going to be a record-breaking one for the company. Bloomberg's Takashi Mochizuki writes, "Nintendo plans to release a revised version of the Switch in the latter half of this year with a larger and better display, as well as upgraded graphics when the hybrid console is plugged into a TV set. The company makes some of the biggest blockbuster games on its platform, which contributes significantly to profit and also spur hardware adoption. Much of this year's lineup of new games remains unannounced." So Mochizuki is convinced, as are many people across the internet, myself included, that Nintendo is going to be releasing a new Switch this year, and that's going to absolutely increase the bottom line for them. It's really going to keep sales of the hardware very strong in the marketplace, but there's a big question about the games, and speculation is that Nintendo's going to have a ton of huge releases this year, and it's going to cross over the 250 million unit selling mark, which would make it a record year for the company. Mochizuki writes, a series of marquee game releases is expected to drive software sales next fiscal year to 250 million units, far more than the record 205 million units forecast for the current year, according to the partners and suppliers, speaking anonymously as the plans are not public. Analysts have also projected software sales would fall next year. So a lot of people have been predicting that all of the hype that came out of 2020 with the launch of the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series platforms and the Switch kind of hitting that mid-stride was going to start to tamp things down. But the PlayStation 5 is selling incredibly well. Xbox is doing very well with Game Pass, and it looks like Nintendo is going to overcome expectations with the launch of new hardware. And then the software, let's talk about that for a second. We already know that we're getting Splatoon. We know that Breath of the Wild 2 is on the way, and it would be very smart for Nintendo to partner Breath of the Wild 2 with a brand new Switch. We know that new Pokemon games are coming, so those are going to sell very well. But I think if we're going to be crossing over to this 250 million unit mark, Nintendo's got to come up with some really big heavy hitters. Metroid Prime 4, I think, factors in there. So I'm putting my money down on Metroid Prime 4 on this new Switch hardware, which will blow our minds. But what about a new Mario Kart or something new with Animal Crossing? Because these are some of the biggest selling titles that Nintendo has. And I feel like these predictions for 250 million units sold kind of need a massive selling game like that. Animal Crossing is near the top now thanks to the pandemic last year and everybody finding out what an incredible experience that was. But Mario Kart is a consistent selling experience. Certainly a new Mario adventure would be huge, but I think we've just gone through the 35th anniversary of Mario. We've talked about Mario games quite a bit. There have been new ones or re-releases of excellent ones. So I think we're talking like a Mario Kart, a Metroid Prime 4 would be really big, and Animal Crossing would certainly sell really well, whether it's downloadable content for New Horizons or it's a brand new experience. Maybe it's a slightly different direction, maybe with more robust online play or something. About the only thing that Nintendo's got to kind of concern itself with are all of these shortages out there, all these chip shortages and material shortages that are affecting the release of PlayStation 5s and the Xbox Series consoles, making it hard for gamers to actually acquire some of this cool hardware out there, and Nintendo's got to navigate through all that. And I did a poll today about the naming of the new Nintendo hardware. I've got Super Switch, Switch Pro, Switch Advance, and Switch Excel on my poll, and so far Super Switch, which is my pick, is in the lead. So let's hope the Super Switch comes out this year and everybody's going to be able to get their hands on it. But I'll tell you what, whether you're a PlayStation fan, an Xbox fan, particularly a Game Pass fan, or a Nintendo fan, you've got lots to be smiling about in 2021. And a couple of quick things to tell you about. First of all, I don't know how I missed Undermine, but this is a cool-looking pixel-crafted roguelike that blends in some mining mechanics, and it's got a constant stream of loot and goodies for you to uncover and find on each run. Undermine's hitting the PlayStation on March 30th, but it's already available on Xbox. I believe it's on Game Pass. It's out on Nintendo Switch, and it's out on PC as well. I want to play this game. It looks like a blast. And there's a new 4-player Dungeons & Dragons action RPG called Dark Alliance that dropped a gameplay trailer today. It's being published by Wizards of the Coast, and it's being developed by Montreal-based developer Took Games. And the game looks like it's got a really arcadey accessibility about it, lots of hacking and slashing and cool magic effects. That's coming out in June 22nd, and I'll definitely be reporting on this one a little bit more as we get closer to the release, but that looks like a lot of fun too. All right, you guys, that's going to do it for our rundown today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for commenting down below and telling me what the new Switch should be called. And thank you, of course, to our new subscribers and to all of our EPN members out there. You guys are awesome. We'll see you tomorrow, and until then, play forever.